The Nerdy 30s, the podcast that proves you don't have to give up what you love at any certain age.
We're 50. We're 50 episodes old. We can punch and kick and punch because we're 50.
We're 50.
We're 50.
50.
It's episode 50.
50. 50.
She's so 50, she's Jodie Foster.
Oh, hey, this is Jodie Foster, and I'm 50 years old today. And I just wanted to say that I loved being in that panic room for just as long as I was in there.
I like making contact with my dead daddy.
Oh, my dead daddy. I love my dead daddy. I just wanted to say that I love my dead daddy.
Welcome to the Nerdy 30s.
This is the weirdest opener.
We're old and we don't give up on our dreams.
We don't do it. Oh my gosh, like this microphone is picking up all the noise of Travis.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I should put something else in between us. I'm going to leave this in. This is what it's like to be on the podcast with us.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep talking to them. Describe to them what I'm doing.
Erin is wiggling and her cat is following her around. We are 50 episodes old at this episode.
This is called Travis Filling Space.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we're 50 episodes old. We don't really have a plan for this one. It's mostly going to be, just talking about ourselves? We're going to be talking about ourselves, and,
This episode is going to be very narcissistic.
Well,
and I'm fine with it.
So,
Yes.
welcome to episode 50 of the Nerdy 30s. This is Travis Harrison.
I'm Erin Naoma.
And today is our 50th episode.
How many is that in human years?
That is 50 episodes. I'm not sure how else to answer that.
50. 50 in human years. Thank you.
Actually, I mean, this is probably going to be like, maybe like a different version of our very first podcast that we never released.
We never released it because we rambled for 4 hours.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour podcast where we sat in Erin's unfinished basement with no AC and we smelled.
Yeah.
And it was our first podcast and we didn't know what we were doing. So we just played FMK for 3 hours.
Did we do that again?
No. I mean, if you want.
So what you're telling me is that the 50th episode, you don't want to play FMK for 3 hours.
Not for 3 hours.
Okay. Okay. I think I can, yeah. I'm with you. So, we thought that we would talk about some of our favorite things that have happened on the podcast and maybe talk about how the podcast has actually evolved us and helped us in our own personal lives.
Yeah.
I know me personally, the podcast has changed my life drastically.
Yeah.
The years before the podcast, I actually had a physical health issue that caused me to lose my memory, and I couldn't concentrate or form like coherent sentences, like for wanting to talk to things. So being on this podcast actually helped me get to the place where I could communicate with people again, and I could tell stories, and I could actually be animated about things because I couldn't do that for like 2 years or so, and it was scary, and I never want to be back in that place again, and I'm so thankful that we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's really been, number one, like, it's almost like physical therapy because it's forced me to use my brain.
Yes.
And then number two, it's emotional therapy because, like, around the time that I had that health scare going on, I also had, like, a mental breakdown after I lost, like, 7 or 8 people in a very short period of time. And, like, one of them was my cat that was, like, my therapy cat that was, like, my safety structure. And after I lost him, I couldn't cope with things. Mm-hmm. So having the physical illness put together with the mental illness that was now just running rampant and the grief of losing so many people, I couldn't be a human. I hid in the basement. And luckily, Travis started to come over and we would hide in the basement together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, but also not, because she had no air conditioning. And it was
Sweaty
like
mess.
the middle. Well, it was towards the end of summer
Yeah.
in August.
Yes.
And yeah, it was not great. We were very sweaty all the time.
Oh, we were. And actually, the podcast actually made our friendship come back.
Yeah, well, because like we hadn't. So like there was a lot that happened between us, and not necessarily between us.
Yeah, it wasn't between us.
But like, I mean, like along the same lines. First of all, like I was also having issues. I still am having issues, but like it's different things. Like I had a back injury right before we started the podcast, so I had to stop working.
I did too.
I still struggle with my back from time to time, but like also like I have severe mental like anxiety and depression issues. And then during the course of the podcast, like if you listen to early episodes, I'll talk about like being in a relationship, and then like my relationship kind of went away, and so like it's just been like a really rough ride. But like before we started the podcast, we hadn't really been able to talk that much. We kind of were like slowly coming back together.
Right.
But like we had some personal issues between some people. And it didn't end well. I don't know how in depth I want to go into that, but like we had some mutual people in our lives that kind of made some decisions that ended up affecting our friendship because they made everything awkward.
Right.
And so we stopped talking for a while.
Right.
Until we kind of like got over like the weird, because like we're both very anxious people. So,
Yeah. And and Travis does this too. When we get anxious, we avoid.
Yeah.
Avoid.
Like I do that to people that I like.
Yeah.
But it's just because like I don't want to like have like weird, awkward.
The tension.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Same exact thing.
I just kind of err on the side of, oh, they hate me, so I'm just gonna hide now.
I mean, like I can have people walk into my house that are like coming to see me, and they can just look at me a little weird, and I'm like, oh, they hate me. Oh, okay. All right, I got it. I saw it. I saw the look. I know the truth now. You hate me.
I know the truth, and it haunts me.
Oh, me.
Yeah, but like, so basically, we were just like talking on Facebook one day. We're like, we should do podcasts. Oh, we'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Which of course we're not, but we have a podcast with 50 episodes, so whatever.
We do what we want.
And so then we actually followed through on it. I think that's something that was shocking to us because like we're both so used to like being like, yeah, let's do something, and then people being like, yeah, and then it not happening.
Well, see, I am one of those people that like I get really gung-ho about things, and I'm like, let's do this, and it can be a little overwhelming for other people. And so and with Travis coming in and having a lot of anxiety already, I could see that being like, oh, we doing this?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I wanted to do something with my time anyway.
Yeah, I did
because
too.
like I like talk. Like I wanted to like either like start YouTube videos or something because like I just wanted to talk about things that I liked.
Right.
So I figured like with the podcast, it's a little bit easier because there's a slightly less that goes into it.
Yeah.
Still more than you would think, but still slightly less.
There is a lot that goes into doing the podcast. You know, you have to brainstorm on ideas. You have to come up with marketing schemes and all that jazz.
We're still like trying to find out what's the code on marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you do it?
It's like, I know that I'm supposed to share this, but how do you get people to retain it? And that's something that we have not figured out yet.
We have people that like are loyal and listen every week, and we thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. No jokes. But
yeah.
But we're hoping that this can be like a legit paying job at some point.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
It would be. It'd be
It's
great.
like I've tried working normal jobs, and like it's very hard for me to stay motivated or interested, and like I've gotten to a point where like I kind of like I've been mistreated at jobs so much like that I totally understand that like if I just dropped dead that like my job posting would be up before my obituary.
Exactly.
So why even try?
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to do things that fulfill me. So like this podcast, like I do a lot of art. I do, I do things for me that I want to kind of succeed at and maybe make money off of.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, and it's hard. It's very hard because, you know, with the podcast or like with Erin's music or with my art, like, you know, you have people that support you.
Right.
But there's also other people that kind of look at you like, oh, that's cute. Like, it's not like a legit thing while they're consuming like movies and music and stuff.
Right, exactly.
It's just like all artists start at this level. So
Exactly.
like, why are you giving me shit for trying?
Yeah, I usually get, I'm not going to name names, but I usually get people who like to compliment the people that are around me instead of complimenting me for it. And then I'll be like, oh, well, did you like what I do? And then they'll be like, I liked what they did. So
yeah.
I'm not going to say names as to who that was, but I am related to them. So I'm spilling a little drip of that tea.
Tea and shade.
I'm throwing some shade.
Oh, that was a burp.
It was beautiful.
It was because I had all that tea.
It was. You swallowed too much air with your tea.
Too much.
Oh man. But yeah, that's one of those things where I have never been somebody that's really gotten a lot of support for you know, the things that I've done, and I go above and beyond trying to get things out there, and that's actually one of the reasons why my health went so bad.
Yeah.
Because like I pushed too hard. So you guys, you got to make sure that you balance your workload and your stress levels.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like you're getting too overwhelmed with something, take a break, guys. I had to learn. My body forced me to take a break.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, that's the truth, because I feel like that's what happened with me. Like with my back rub, like my back just went out, and like I went actually crazy. Like I know people, you don't like to say that, but like earlier this year, like I had a mental breakdown that went to a self-harm place, and I had to go to the mental hospital for like a week, and it was kind of
I'm very glad you're still here.
Yeah, well, that was like, I feel like that was my body I feel like my body has been breaking down over the last couple of years, and it's forcing me to do things that are for me now instead of for everybody else.
That was me too, 100%.
Yeah, because like, I mean, honestly, like my body kind of forced me to stop working at places that I didn't like feel a connection to.
Same
and
here.
That caused my life to kind of fall apart. But I think it might have been for the better, because I was in a relationship that I wasn't super happy in, and that I had been debating leaving for a long time. And it forced me to do that. And then like earlier this year when I had my breakdown, and my body kind of forced me to get help, because I wasn't getting help. Like I was still kind of like trying to navigate it on my own. Yeah. And I wasn't getting therapy or anything. Right. And my body just kind of forced me to do that. And so it definitely, I don't know. It just, I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, like any other job that I've ever done, I have always, anybody that I've worked with always gave me their workload.
Yeah.
And like, it didn't matter where I was. And me being me, I was like, I'll say yes and don't give me more money. But, you know, I want to make sure that you know that I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to show people I could do it without asking for more money and without taking care of myself. And it's like, that's not healthy, guys. That's not healthy. And, you know, you're kind of taught to, like, smile through it. Like, I got this. Everything's good. And you keep doing that until, number one, when you're under that much stress for that long period of time, it takes a toll on your body, and your body starts to break down. And I believe one of the first things that starts to happen is your bones start to be brittle, which is what happened with me, and it's what happened with Travis. Because your cortisol levels are high, and your cortisol levels stop letting your body consume calcium. So you got to learn to relax, guys. No, you know, I mean, you might have all of these dreams and all these ambitions, but make sure that you take time for you too. Yeah.
And, oh, there's some cats.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the 50th without a kitty.
I know. They're just making some noise. But yeah, but we're getting so much into like our artistic stuff now. And I think it's It's crazy how it's taken us this long to do it.
Yeah.
Because we were both really artistic kids in school.
I feel like that was the universe's way of being like, hey, you're not following the path I have for you. Stop. Go back to what you were doing.
We let our outside forces, like people that we know, like just kind of influence us and make us believe that that's not the life that we're supposed to live.
Right.
And
or that we're not good enough for it.
And we're still struggling with that because there's still people that just kind of look at us like, oh,
oh, that's cute.
oh, you have a podcast? Cute. Oh, you draw, you make music. Oh, and like I've gotten into full-blown arguments with people before because like I remember there's like a meme that I posted. It was about art. It was like, hey, you guys you pay like full price for like Beyonce tickets or for an album or something, but you don't support people that you love and care about when they're trying to pursue their dreams. And people are like, well, Beyonce's famous. Well, how did she get famous?
Exactly. Because people put in the time. The people she loved put in the time. Her mom and her dad were her managers and stylist.
Yeah.
Her family went for it with her, and they supported her, and her friends supported her. That's how she got big.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying, oh, everybody should be famous, because, like, I know that a lot of, like, fame has to do with, like, luck of the draw, too.
Right.
But, like, at least support your artist friends. Shit. Yeah.
Fry agrees.
Yeah, he just ran past. He was like, yes, I agree.
He's like, how dare you not support the arts? You're supposed to. Oh, there he goes.
He's like, I agree again.
I wish you guys could see him. He's, like, running around like a madman.
He's a cute, chubby kid. Like, he's real fat.
He's a bear. He's a bear in the cat community.
But, like, he keeps running around like he's just a marathon.
I think he has to poop. That's what I think.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah. So we kind of wanted to update you guys on what we are doing now. That's kind of how the podcast began. Yeah. So here's what we're doing now.
We're sitting at the kitchen table.
We're sitting at the kitchen table, and there's a bunny rabbit that's right in between us. It's a Reese's bunny. I got it because I found a giant mug, and he was inside of it. And I was like, yes, Reese's bunny. I love Reese's. They have these new candy bars that are outrageous candy bars. It's like chocolate with nougat in the middle, and then also Reese's Pieces in there. And oh, it's so good. It's so good. I buy it every time I go to the store. It's like 87 cents, and I don't even care. I could not even have 87 cents, and I'll be like, just put it on the card instead.
Welcome to the 50th ADD episode.
It's going to be so good. But yeah, that's, that's what I'm doing now, is I'm buying Reese's outrageous candy bars. A lot. You're welcome.
Okay.
No, but really what I'm actually doing now is I have a new album coming out with my band Lavender and Thieves. And then after this album comes out, I'm going to do a solo album of pop music.
It's going to be like that time that, like, Jewel went from being, like, a folksy, like, indie, like, kind of country singer to being, like, a pop singer.
And she got sprayed with a hose.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, this is a parody of pop music. But, like, is it really?
It wasn't. She just wanted to try. She wanted to try something.
I am to wear a show.
I think she knew what happened to Garth Brooks when Garth Brooks did that pop album.
When he was like,
Chris Gaines.
Like, Chris Haynes, yeah. He was like, I'm not Garth Brooks. I'm Chris.
What sucks so bad for him is that was for a movie, and then the movie ended up not happening, so he just ended up looking crazy.
That's fantastic.
That was like the moment everyone was like, what's wrong with this guy? And everyone stopped listening to Garth Brooks. It was a soundtrack. He was going to be a character named Chris Gaines in a movie, and he put out that
because he had like that like weird like emo wig that he put on.
That soul patch. He's a soul patch.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what it's gonna be. but my album's gonna be coming out July 1st, or the 1st of July, as one of the songs are called.
Yeah.
Is called in there. Yeah. I'm also a radio DJ on 100.9 WCHQ FM. You can listen to me on the radio, and you can watch me on Facebook Live. I'll share it on our page a few times, so you guys can kind of get in there. It's a country music show, but don't worry, guys. I still love the gays. All Pride Month, I'm going to bring in gay musicians.
It'll be great.
So don't you
We
worry.
gotta find the gay country music people.
I have found 2 already.
Okay.
So I'm already on the hunt because it's next month and I'm not going to miss it.
You better.
I'm not going to miss it.
gonna.
Because it's time we bridge that gap. Let's face it. Shelley Wright, she's gay. She's a country artist.
Trixie Mattel is a drag queen.
Trixie Mattel is
and
a
country
beautiful
artist.
drag queen. And it's time that we just stop separating these things. You know, everybody's got a little country in their soul.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a little country in there. And then what else? Oh, I'm writing a book. I'm not done with it. I've been writing this book for a while.
You're writing like a couple.
I'm focusing on just one. I realized my problem was I was writing too many books
Yeah.
at one time, so I was getting a little lost. I was like, what's happening in this one? And then I was like, wait, that's for the other book. So now I'm just focusing on one, and it's about kitty cats. But yeah, those are the things I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now. Oh yeah, and the podcast.
Yeah.
And
we're both doing the podcast.
I've done a couple modeling things here and there, and I have officially lost 50 pounds.
Yeah, it's all that just dancing.
Just dance.
Gonna be okay.
Just dance. Yeah.
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 It's a fun time.
It is a super fun time.
Sometimes I'll just dance with her, but most of the time it's like, my back hurts.
Most of the time he's just watching me and he's like, you need to move your arm more.
I do the Daria thing. I reach out. La 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 la.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I had to get it through my head that no one else was going to dance with me because like I would harass Mitch to dance with me too.
I like doing it sometimes, but most of the time I'm just like,
You're like, it's too sweaty.
it hurt. Well, it's like
It's
you're
just sweaty.
intricate, and it's like my ball sweat can't handle it.
I know, honey. I'm so sorry.
Too much.
I'm so sorry. He told me he dances in the nude.
Sometimes if I want to just dance, I have to dance in the nude because it gets too sweaty. So I lock my door and I just dance in the nude
He's
so
like, "Here
that
we
the
go."
sweat doesn't get all over my clothes. Because I
One's
get
for you,
sweaty.
Bears. This one's for you.
No, it's I don't know. It's just I don't like feeling sweaty.
I don't either. I don't like wet clothes.
Yeah.
Like, if I get any amount of water on my clothing, I am disgusted until I change. I think it's a sensory issue.
Yeah.
I have a few. It's fine.
It's real gross.
I know that I'm on the spectrum and I'm okay with it.
I feel like I am too.
Yeah.
It's just like they won't test me for it because I have to get like the doctor's approval. And I'm just like, and they're just like, it's really long and it may be expensive and
you're
your
like,
insurance might
well.
not cover it. Like, okay. Well,
Doesn't that suck? Like, I think in a lot of places, I think like 3-year-olds and above will have like free therapy for it. And it's like, what about the adults who didn't know that they had it until they were an adult and they were like, oh, dang.
dang it.
Dang it. Dang it, Bobby.
Propane.
In heaven.
Yeah.
That's my favorite episode. Do you remember that episode of King of the Hill?
I didn't watch King of the Hill that much. I just remember like catching reruns on at night.
There's an episode where Bobby gets addicted to a boy band, and Hank has only heard the parts of King of the Hill, parts of this boy band, like the very beginning of the song where they go, something like, I love you, and then they go, in heaven. And then he's like, oh, what a sweet song. And then he takes Bobby to the concert, and right after they sing In Heaven, they all start like bumping and grinding on each other. And Hank's like, oh no! It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's basically,
And then he looks at Bobby, and Bobby's freak dancing with Connie.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
basically my childhood experience.
With your dad.
Yeah.
No joke.
It was,
Madonna.
it was like, yes. Like, one time I went to Britney Spears with my cousin, and my aunt and my uncle took me. It was funny.
Yeah.
She got on a magic carpet, like, and she flew over the audience, and I was like, ah! Ah! It was amazing.
That's cool.
It was her first preview for "Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know" because it was like it was right after her first album. She's like, I'm gonna preview a new song for y'all. It's like the first time I've ever performed it. and she got on the magic carpet, and she sang, "Don't let me be the last to know.
Don't
Let me be the last to know."
Poor little thing. Yeah. I'm gonna put it all out there. I really like Britney Spears.
I do too.
And I want so much good for her.
I feel like she should, because there's rumors that she's going to retire.
She should.
Whenever her dad finally passes away. I feel like she should. Because, like, I remember seeing, there's an article the other day, it was, like, pictures of her. It was, like, Britney Spears looking great. Going out and looking great. And she looks so upset and, like, so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just like, does she though? Leave her alone.
Exactly. It was when she was coming out of the mental health facility.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, she looks great coming out of that mental health facility. Look how happy she is." She looked sad. And I'm like, "Do you guys not see this? Like, she is in pain.
Yeah.
She's in constant turmoil, and you can see it in the way she performs because it's robotic what she's doing.
It is.
She has no heart in it. She has no soul in it. She's sad.
It's not fun.
No.
Leaving going into a mental health facility, leaving it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had recent experience. It's not great. Like,
Right.
you go in, there's a lot of people that are way more messed up than you. And
Right.
you're, like, in closed quarters, and, like, it's just very uncomfortable, and you're like, it feels like prison.
Right.
Like, a lot. So leaving, you might be happy to get out, but you still feel kind of crappy.
Right.
You probably haven't had a proper shower in a couple days. I mean, they have showers, but they're kind of grody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she didn't go to a fancy one.
Yeah.
Like, she just went to one of the normal ones that are just out and about, you know? Like, she wasn't like, I'm going on vacation, like you see so many of them do, where it's like, oh, there's
Betty
spa
Ford Center.
treatments every day.
Yeah.
No, hers was a legit mental health facility. Not, let's do spas and yogas.
And don't get me wrong, like, I'm glad I went. Like, it really
Yeah.
put me in perspective. It got me on routines. It got me kind of thinking about, therapy and stuff. But, like,
Yeah.
it's not fun.
No.
So,
No. It's one of those things where it's never fun to learn that you have limitations.
yeah.
It's never fun. But also, it explains things, so it's almost relieving, if that makes sense.
Also, like, it makes you kind of understand, like, how on those reality shows, like, these people that shouldn't get along get along. Because, like, you're just shoved in there with no entertainment, and, like, you have to talk to each other.
Right.
Like, because, like, I talked to some crazy people. Like, there was this one girl who was, like, she was real into meth, and she kept screaming Trump all the time. And I was like, I will not talk to you outside of here, just to be clear.
It's perpetuity.
But, like, she kind of hung out with us, and she was fine when she was with us. And it was just like, it's weird. It's like hard times. It's like, you kind of group together when you're going through some trauma.
Right. It's literally perpetuity. I
Yeah.
actually learned that word from Mike Nesmith. He has a song called Perpetuity, and it's about the fact that you are... The reason that you get attracted to someone or the reason that you're friends with someone is because they're in the same area as you.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And he's right. It's like high school.
Yeah, and then you get out of high school and you're just like, wow, I didn't like most of you.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, everybody's gone now.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. I actually took that personally for a while.
I did, but then I realized I didn't really have a lot in common with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like, the people that we did keep in contact with and that we are kind of, like, friends with now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really hang out with them in school.
Weird. I had a few people, like, come out of the woodwork that wanted to work on projects with me,
Yeah.
but I don't think they actually wanted to be my friend.
I don't know. It's
It was
weird.
a sad face. It was strange. It was a strange situation. Yeah.
I don't know. It's evolution.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now, Travis?
Well, so I am an artist. I like to say that loosely because, like, I'm.
No, he's an
I'm
artist.
still practicing. I'm teaching myself digital art.
That's the thing with art is you're always practicing.
Yeah.
Even when you are amazing, you still have to practice.
I feel weird saying it because, like, there's lots of things I'm not happy with, and I'm just like when I was, my depressing spot, and I was just working 9-to-5 jobs, and I was in a relationship I wasn't happy with, and like all that stuff. I had given up art, so I hadn't done it in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So like when I restarted, which I restarted about the same time we started doing the podcast.
Right.
My skills were gone. So like I was just doing like little like crappy like pen doodles.
Right.
Just to kind of like retrain my hand. And I'm still doing that. Like it's very hard.
Right.
But I started learning and teaching myself digital.
Yeah.
Which
it's a completely different language.
Different. And I have a tablet that is not touchscreen. All the cool kids are using touchscreen tablets now.
Right.
But I can't afford one. So like I have to learn how to do it the old fashioned way, and it's very hard, and it's because you got to train your hand to do like clean lines, and it's a bitch. It's a bitch. But I am doing art, and I have a page. I'll explain what my page, because like I have like a weird name for it.
Is this your naughty page?
Well, it's sort of naughty. So I have a Twitter and an Instagram. It's called Solst the Great. SOLSETHEGREAT. It's Solst the Great.
And he's great.
And people are like, that's a fucking weird name, Travis. And
No,
I'm
it's
like,
not.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's the reason I named it that is because that was my one of my first role-playing characters when I was like 13, 14.
Nice.
And he was a ninja vampire, and I really needed to do like a drawing of him. But
You should.
It feels embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
But yes, I do occasionally post like naughty art there sometimes too.
Lots of
Like
penises.
so be
some
aware.
buttholes.
If you follow me, like there's cutesy stuff, and then occasionally there's penises. But like I just draw all kinds of stuff, and that's what I like. I like drawing spooky penises sometimes.
Anytime that there's a penis, I always comment, "There's a penis."
I actually made a post with that picture of that guy being like, "There's a penis."
There's a penis.
Yeah.
There it is. There's a penis every single time. I don't even care.
Yeah, but
he could share the same photo of that same penis like 15 times, and I will do it.
Yeah, I've started not posting like the risque ones on Facebook just because like it's mostly family there, and I'm just like,
Your grandma gets on there. What's
well,
that,
see, my
Travis?
grandma, like she wanted to see my sketchbook. I'm like, there's penises in there. She's like, yeah, that's fine. She turned to one of the penis pictures, and she was like, oh my, Trey. It's funny. But yeah. So like I'm learning how to do new stuff. I've been I did some like emotes on Twitch for some friends, and I'm learning how to do some cool stuff.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm doing I did we have a merch thing. So if you want to buy some t-shirts, I drew the thing on it.
He did such a good job.
I'll probably do more in the future because I'm always trying to draw things to get better. So I'm just like, here's
this. Enjoy. Yeah, Travis, he has... I know I'm addressing the population in this moment, but really I'm addressing you. Travis has improved so much with his art, but he's not giving himself credit for it. I am giving you credit for it right now. It is like night and day from when he started to right now. And I mean, some of the stuff that he's putting out is really well done and really beautiful. So let me brag on you.
Well, I mean, you know what it is because I'm trying to get better. Like I follow a lot of artists as well to kind of like look at what they're doing and see what I can do better. But like I feel like it's the same thing. Like if you do any type of art thing, you're just like, they're so much better than me. How am I gonna get that good?
And whenever I would play shows live, if someone went on before us that was super good at singing, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm just like, how do you art? How?
Yeah. I had to get to the point where I was like, I need to stop comparing myself and just start uplifting everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're good, be like, you're good. And like praise them, because it's when you put out that negative, you're going to get negative back. But if you put out that positive for somebody, you're going to get positive back in your life too.
Yeah.
So.
Like I never want to tear anybody. Like if
absolutely.
you're good at stuff, like I'll praise you for it. I've had people come at me and be like, your art's bad. You shouldn't charge people. Because like I have like a little thing. Like if you really want me to draw you like a big picture and like you pay me something and I'll do it.
Right.
I mean, there are some people that I'm like, here's an art picture I did, but like that's because they're close friends.
Right.
But like I've had people be like, your art isn't worth that. I'm like, I'm sorry. It was like a young aspiring artist that did that to me, and so I went to their page, and I was like, well, your art's really good, so
Congrats.
like, I hope that you start selling some art too, like because like I mean I've had a couple of people pay for some stuff.
Right.
It's not like I'm completely off of the off the deep end. Oh God. That wasn't even on purpose.
How many times did we say that in that other episode? It was like 50.
It was a lot.
It was like 50.
It was
For our
good.
50th.
50 episodes. Yeah.
50th episode.
So, we should probably talk about actual stuff on our podcast since it is number 50.
Number 50. So, Travis, what's your favorite thing that's happened on the podcast?
On the podcast?
Like your favorite moment on one of our episodes?
There's a lot. One, I really loved the entire Bill Ratner episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's
'Tis Bill.
oh my gosh. So for those of you who don't know, Bill Ratner's a huge voiceover artist.
And he's very good.
Does so many he's basically the random TV commercial guy.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of 80s cartoons. He's in G.I. Joe. He's in what's that game that you really like? The
King's Quest.
Yeah. It's such a if you're an actor or if you're just any type of anything into any of that, listen to that episode because he has so we barely even talk in it because he has so many stories. He just talked the whole time.
He's fascinating.
It was so good.
We were only going to talk to him for 20 minutes and ended up being an hour and a half. I'm not even kidding.
We were just let's just make this a podcast episode.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to cut any of it.
I didn't want to cut any of it because he took so much time and dedication to answering all of our questions.
And he was so gracious.
He was. He was such a nice guy. I still have his phone number. And I should
know.
call him and just be like, hi, friend.
He's so sweet.
He is very, very sweet. I'd love to have him back on the show.
Me too.
He said he would play video games with us and narrate while he did it.
So
Wouldn't that be fun? We could play King's Quest and he'd be like, oh, watch out for the cow ploppies.
yes.
Oh, it
It
gets
was
me.
such a good one.
It was.
I also really like the 90s forgotten 90s episode because
Oh, that's a good one.
there's so many stupid jokes. there's the koalas with chlamydia.
Oh, yeah.
And
And then, didn't we talk about One Direction getting peed on as well?
with the chlamydia.
Yes.
And then there's also you did this little bit where you're the Joker laugh. You laughed at my boner.
Chortle at my boner, will you?
And then we had just gotten our Podbean on that episode. So I was like, follow our Podbean where we have such great features as podcasts. So that was great. Also, the Harry Potter episode where we don't know anything about Harry Potter.
That is absolutely one of my favorites.
I've gotten messaged by a couple people that love Harry Potter. They're like, I hate this episode so much.
It makes me love it even more.
They're like, I was saying the Professor blah 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 the whole time. What is it, Babbage?
I could
whatever.
Nope, no idea.
It was not Trelawney.
Yeah, I've had two people message me as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? Keep it coming because it makes me laugh.
We're debating on whether we should do kind of sort of a follow up to that where we do talk about Game of Thrones.
I've never seen any of it, but I can assume what the characters are like.
I've seen bits and pieces. I know a lot of people get mad when you're just you're the contrarian that's I've never seen Game of Thrones. I just haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it. It's not that I'm trying to be out of the norm. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. But I think it would be funny for us to do an episode where we're just hey, this happened, right? Hey.
I assume Peter Dinklage, he tap dances.
Dragons.
He's a warlord that tap dances while he's talking to dragons
I
or
know
whatever.
they just had a Starbucks cup on it.
That was Amelia Clark. I seriously think Starbucks was here's a bunch of money. Put this in your scene.
I 100% think that because that is such a curated like world building show. Like they wouldn't make a mistake like that. Plus,
Exactly.
I watch who is it? Busy Tonight. Busy Phillips. She's at that show. Busy Tonight.
I haven't seen Busy Tonight, but I know who she
It's
is.
a funny show, but like she did like her opening monologue talking about it, and she was like, "You're telling me every time I'm on a set, they could see the fucking lip gloss peeking out of my pocket, but they can't see a whole Starbucks cup right on a table." No,
That's
no.
stupid. That's actually a really good Busy impression.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
I wasn't even taking an impression, so
It's really
I guess
good.
I'm just busy Phillips.
You're Busy Phillips. Busy Phillips. What's been your least favorite episode? I'm fine with talking about this.
You go ahead, because I don't know what my least favorite episode is.
Least favorite. My least favorite episode is an episode that never came out. It's the one with Amy Allen.
Oh,
Because I was I was open like a book in that place.
Yeah.
And I was picking up way too many negative vibes, and I could not handle my brain.
yeah. I didn't think that one was too bad. So I guess we're spilling tea on that was like 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
So who were those bitches? They're that.
Kindred Spirits? Is that what they were called?
I don't
or-
know. Like there was some ghost hunting people.
They
like,
used to be part of Ghost Hunters.
yeah.
Adam and I can't think of the
I
girl's
don't know.
name. I loved Amy Allen, by the way. She's very,
Yeah, she
very
was
sweet.
really nice.
I was awkward as F.
Amy was
my
super
problem.
sweet. So I mean, we didn't really have a bad experience interviewing everyone.
No.
Most of the people, like I would say, almost all the people we interviewed were fine, except for those two.
Yeah, and then the Mountain Men.
Well, we didn't interview them. They
No,
just
I
gave
didn't.
us like.
I just
some
didn't
weird
want to be
vibe.
around them.
But anyway, but like we interviewed these two ghost hunter people. This is like our first con. Like this was our very first con for the podcast. So we were nervous. We didn't know what we were doing. I think they were like one of the first people we interviewed too.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't know who they were. Erin knew who they were. So like I was just like, it was the first thing that we ever recorded.
Right.
Outside of our actual podcast. And so I was like, we're here with what's your name again? And they were just like so offended that I didn't know who they were.
Right.
It's like I got the glare and the vibe. I'm just like, I'm gonna let Erin talk.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like your vibes, bitch.
Yeah, they had bad vibes. They did. Like whenever we asked them for the interview, they said, "Yeah, sure." And
How
then
long is it gonna take?
And I said like 15 minutes. They're like, "Oh, we don't have that long."
That's a little too long.
And I was
We're
like-
very important people.
There was no one around them whatsoever. But that's different, whatever. But yeah, that was my least favorite.
So yeah, that would be my least favorite experience too.
Yeah. It didn't have to. Amy Allen was fantastic. I actually want to put that one out later as a podcast instead of the video because like I was judging everything about myself in that video, and I feel like if you couldn't see me, I wouldn't judge it as much.
Well, I mean, yeah,
And also, our computer has stopped letting us work on videos. So
so that was from Scare Fest about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then like that was our first like real con experience. So
Right.
we were very nervous.
yeah,
So we didn't put out most of the stuff from it.
right.
Also, like we're kind of sensitive people anyway when it comes to like empathy and stuff. So
Yeah.
and that was like a lot. Like there was a lot of ghost hunters in a very small place.
Yes.
So like they were
And
all.
you could feel it.
It was like weird energies all around. Plus, it was a horror convention, and I love horror movies, but there are certain types of people that go to horror conventions that give off some bad vibes, and there was a lot of them there too. And plus, the Mountain Men, which we talked about on the Dragon Age episode, but I'll talk about it again.
Do it.
Where we had.
Spill the tea, honey.
Yeah, we had we interviewed the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, and they were like right across from the Mountain Men. Mm-hmm. So we kept coming up to visit them, say hi, talk about things. But the Mountain Men, I don't know. I guess are they on a show? I guess they're on a show. They were there.
I have no idea.
They look like Duck Dynasty, but for ghosts, I guess, because like they were just all like
They were
older,
scary.
chubby men in overalls with the ZZ Top beards. But like every time we would walk by them, they would stare at us like they wanted to murder us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what was going on.
They would do that, and then they would howl at us, which
It was very uncomfortable.
which I did not like. I felt like, and I'm sure Travis felt like this too, a piece of meat that they were waiting to hunt.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that look like them that are completely fine. These
Yeah.
guys had huge bad vibes. Huge bad.
And yet, I mean, if you know anything about Erin, you'll know that if you have bad vibes, we're probably not going to follow through with things with you.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a couple of interviews we've been like, hey, we're gonna not. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, they gave her bad vibes. But, like, these guys were, like, emitting so much bad energy. I was just like...
I wouldn't even go near them. Like, when we
can
walked
we-
past, we just, like,
Can
scooted
we
over to the other side.
leave this area? Which was sad, because, like, we were interviewing guys, like, straight across from them.
Yeah. Who were really nice.
They were really
the
nice.
race chasers are sweetie pies.
Yeah. But, yeah.
And Kyle Cobb was really nice, too.
was
He
really
was
nice,
right
too.
next to them.
Yeah, we released the Wraith Chasers and Kyle Cop ones on YouTube. So
Yeah.
if you want to watch those are up. But the other ones we just haven't, because combination bad editing computers and bad vibes.
Yeah. Well, the Amy Allen one, I'm gonna rip the sound from, because if I can just rip the sound from
Yeah.
it and then not have to edit the video, I can put that one out. But we didn't get to release our videos from last year either, because our computer just anytime that you try to upload anything onto there that's like more than
I think going
it just
forward,
can't handle it.
I think going forward, if we do video stuff, it shouldn't be long stuff.
Right.
And we just do podcast stuff. Because, like, I really liked how the Bill Ratner one turned out.
Yeah, I do too. What I'm thinking is, for when we go to conventions, is that we have our own booth.
Yeah.
And we have people come visit us, and we can Facebook Live them or Twitch with them while they're there, so it's just automatically uploaded, and then just take the audio and make a podcast out of it.
That'd be good.
It'd be really good.
Yeah.
Because we would have our own spot that's sectioned off, and we wouldn't be running around. I get so exhausted and so tired at those things.
I know. I have so much fun, but, like, I get so tired, and, like,
Yeah.
there's so many people, and, like, we're very socially anxious people, so, like,
Yes.
it just feels, like, after a while, it feels like you're suffocating.
It does. It does.
So, like, we deplete our energy pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Are we spilling tea on this episode?
I'm fine. Spill as much tea as
How
you
much-
want.
Like, how hot?
This is our 50th
How
anniversary.
hot should the tea be? Because, like, I've been dying to openly talk about certain events.
Do it. Spill
But, like,
that
I
tea.
don't want to burn bridges with this hot tea.
You know what I want to do? Spill the bleach.
Spill the bleach.
Spill the bleach. I have coined this today, that whenever it's going to be super awful and you're just going to, like, let it out, just spill that bleach, honey.
Do you want to talk about the bowling party?
You know I want to talk about the bowling party. That was another one of my least favorite things.
And it's so tragic because I was so excited for it.
I know. So we did a bowling event for Nicholas Brendan. Xander from Buffy, if you don't know who Nicholas Brendan is. He's also a rapist on Private Practice.
Oh my god! If you watch Grey's Anatomy in Private Practice, that is the scariest, most intense acting I've ever seen Nicholas Brendan be in. It's in season 4 of Private Practice.
Is it acting?
I don't know, but it's season 4 of Private Practice. The episode is called "What Happened to Charlotte King," where he plays a rapist who viciously beats and rapes like the most, like, she's basically like the Cordelia of the show.
She's the
like,
lady boss.
She's the lady boss, and it's just like it's interesting, like how they cast him to take down like probably the most like confident woman on the show.
Yep.
Oh, it was uncomfortable. But back to the bowling event.
Actually, that kind of segues very well into how I felt around him. So we talked with his manager. We were going to do a podcast with him. We were going to do a little promo for his bowling event. And
Which we did, and it
we
was
did
very
it.
nice. They
We
didn't
did
use it.
because we put it out, and because we did what we said we were going to do. But he didn't do the podcast, but that's fine, whatever. But we show up at the bowling event, and his manager walks up to me, and she goes, I don't think you guys are going to be able to do the podcast. And I was like, okay. that's fine. And she was like, and she just kind of like looked at me and then just went and sat down. And I was like, all right, so I guess we're just going to do the promo then. And then Nicholas Brennan was acting like he had no idea that we were coming.
Yeah, I know.
Which was very uncomfortable.
It was, because, like, you can tell he doesn't like to be surprised by cameras, which I understand.
Right.
Nobody does.
No one.
But, like, we were told, hey, we're here to do a podcast. We're here to, like, do some promo stuff. And,
right.
like,
Oh, what was worse is that the 2 days beforehand, when we were trying to, you know, set everything in stone, they ignored us.
they went, and, like, I remember, like, we were like, should we go? Like, we were almost in tears, like, about to go.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, this is, like, such a, like, a big thing. Because it was, like, one of our first, like, big things. And we were just like, this could be, like, a really cool thing. Like,
right.
what if, like, they're just dicking around with us? And so, like, we were just, like, so freaked out.
And I mean, we had already released the fact that we were doing this event.
Know. And, like, we did so much promo. Like, we contacted some, like, local, like, I think we contacted some local papers and stuff.
We did. We actually got the word out about him coming.
Yeah.
Like, we marketed for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's like, come on. So she walks up, she says that to us, and I was like, well, that's fine. We'll just do the promo then. And she just goes and walks away and just goes and sits down. And Nick comes up, and he's trying to get everybody's name in to play bowling.
Yeah.
And I said no at first, and then you said you would. So I was like, all right, I guess I will too.
Well, I mean, I was going to say no too, because, like, I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I was freaked out. Like, because I could feel the, like, weird energy. I was like,
It was super strange. And he was drunk, by the way.
Yeah, he showed up, like, almost an hour late.
Yeah, he showed up an hour late, and
Drunk?
he reeked of alcohol, and he was extremely sweaty.
And keep in mind, this was like it was like an event because like of his alcoholism and depression. He was like, "Oh, I'm beating it."
Yeah. And it's like, no, honey, you're not. Which is fine. I want you to get help, but you know, you maybe take some steps to not do it.
This tea's really hot, and like I'm really
super
nervous
hot.
talking about it.
No, I'm fine with talking about it because it was bullshit.
Yeah.
So he notices that there's too many people on his roster for playing bowling.
Yeah.
And he starts wandering around looking at everyone really confused, and he starts to go to security. And it's Travis and I, and we're the ones that we're not supposed to be there, apparently. And
Mitch was there too.
Mitch was there too because he was doing cameraman stuff. And I can see I was getting a weird vibe from him anyway, and then I can see him kind of like scurrying about, and then Travis was like, "Hey girl, hey,
I was like, well,
he's looking for security right now."
Well, no, I saw him, like, he actually went to security, like he had security with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, should we tell the manager, like, we can leave if this is not a thing?
Right.
Because we were already feeling like weird vibes anyway, so
right, like we were not invited.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching, and I see Nick go up to his manager, and the manager is like, "Oh no, they're supposed to be here," I'm assuming. Yeah. And then he comes over to us. He comes over to me in particular, and is like, "Hey, I thought you guys were a podcast." And I was like, We are?
We're here to do it if you want to.
Yeah, and he goes, well, no, because a podcast is like this. And he acted like he was putting a headset on. And I was like, well, yeah, we do podcasts, but we also do this. Did you not know we were coming? Like, I very blatantly asked him this.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, I totally know. I totally knew, which tells me, no, he had no idea. Did. He had no idea that we were coming. And I was just kind of like, yeah. And and right before that, we told Mitch to put away the camera. Like, we were just like, just put it away, because I think he's uncomfortable with the camera. And then this is whenever, right after that is when Nick came over to talk to me. And I was just like, I was very upfront with him. I was just kind of like, we put the camera away because you didn't seem like you were okay with it.
Yeah.
And he was like, you guys do whatever you're going to do. It's fine. And I was like, no, we're good. We're good. So we didn't bring the camera out after that.
I mean,
we brought it out at the end just to interview a couple people to make the promo. But we did not interview him, which was going to be the big thing that we were supposed to do.
We were super excited about it, and it just
did not happen.
It wasn't going to happen.
Right. And then he kept coming up to me and like grabbing my shoulders and like doing weird, like, it's almost like he was hitting me with his fingers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is strange, because like the vibe I was getting was he was very angry. And
I know, but like I said, the event was about his sobriety and his depression. Like, he was battling depression, but like, yeah, he showed up late and drunk, and also, like, there were some woo girls there. You know what we mean by woo girls, and they just kept buying him drinks, and he kept taking them, and he just kept getting drunker as the night went on.
Yep.
So like that just kind of it defeated the purpose of the entire event.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
And also, by the end of it, there were several drunk people. There was one that was like, I don't know if he was like a cop or like a mall cop. He was some sort of cop. Mm-hmm. Like, but he was clearly not a nice person. Right. But he was there for the event, and he was super drunk, and he kept like coming over to me and making me uncomfortable. Yes. And he was just like, I know people like you don't get along with people like me. I'm just trying to have a discussion with you. And I was just like, about what? And he just wouldn't get to the point. And like, also he kept pointing out about how underage this one girl was that was there with us. And that made me super uncomfortable, to the point where I went over to the girl. I'm like, hey, do you have friends here? Because you need to watch that guy. Because like, he's talking about you a lot. And he's super drunk, and he gives off scary vibes.
Do you think that he was picking up on stuff that Nicholas Brendan was doing?
I don't know,
because
like,
Nikki was being very handsy with her.
He was super creepy as well, so he wasn't handling it the best. Right. Maybe. Because, like, I mean, he did say, you know what would happen if something happened to this underage girl, right? But, like, he kept talking to me about it. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe you should talk to somebody about that. That's not me. Yeah. But it just made me feel like weird, and like I talked to that one girl, and I was just like, hey, look out, this guy's creeping me out, and he keeps talking about you. Luckily she had like a feisty friend there that looked like she'd like punch a bitch.
I'm pretty sure she did kickboxing or whatever.
But yeah, that was such a disappointing night.
It really was,
because like I was so looking forward to it, and you know, we've been kind of like holding on to it. It's just like,
we bleached it.
And I feel like, I know. I'm still scared. Like, if I don't know if we'll see if this gets left in, but like, I'm
probably gonna leave it in, but I'll probably take out a few different little things just in case. I'll probably leave it. Who cares? I highly doubt he listens.
It's really disappointing.
It was very disappointing.
It wasn't handled well. No. Perfect. Like, because this was like our first like thing with like a quote unquote celebrity.
I mean, and the thing is that he's someone that's important to us because we grew up with Buffy.
I know, like he's on one. You know, we talk about Buffy all the time. Yeah, and he's on.
And you know what? We haven't talked about it much since we met him.
I mean, we do talk about it, but we don't.
But not in the way we did. Not as in depth.
Well, I think one thing I do a lot more is like I am more aware of the shortcomings of the show now. Yeah. Like I'm more willing to like look at it critically now. Yeah. And you know, and it's a combination like between the fiasco with him and like all the shit that came out with Joss Whedon, and you know, I mean, it was a good show and it did change a lot for TV, but like there's things that it could have done better, and like I'm okay with pointing that out now. So
it's fine.
And I'm sure we'll do more episodes about it. We're still holding on to that Willow is terrible episode that you guys are gonna hate.
And we don't care that you're gonna hate it.
Willow,
because she's awful.
If you rewatch She's terrible, guys. She's always like taking advantage of people, and she's like, oh, I know the right thing to do, so I'm gonna use magic to do it.
It just seems like she's trying to be more powerful than Buffy, and like bulldozing things.
Yeah.
Which is...
We love the show, guys.
We love it, but we see things. And we're okay with seeing things.
If you we've rewatched it 100 times, and like every time you rewatch it, the older you get, you apply more of your life experience to it, and you're just like, hey, that's not cool.
It's like me being an adult and watching season 4 again and being like, Riley's not that bad of a guy.
I know.
Even though I
Riley's
hated him.
Fine. He could probably deal with his masculinity issues better.
Yeah.
But, like, also, he was kind of in a military cult.
Right.
So.
And he was probably hatched in an egg.
He was brainwashed and hatched.
So.
But that was our hot tea.
That was our very hot bleach.
It was a lot.
I don't know. And, like, he invited us to come back when he was in Lexington, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I was very, I don't know. It was uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable. And like later on that night, he gave me his hat, and I guess it was like as like a peace offering. And I was like, I don't want your hat.
No,
and I kept like trying to give it back to him. I was like, take your hat back, take your hat back. And then it ended up on someone else. So I'm
okay.
I was like, I don't want your hat.
We still have followers from that night, like that we met that night that we really like. We like you. We don't like.
You guys were great.
You guys were great, and we talked to you guys. We tried to make sure that you guys felt welcome because like it felt kind of weird and clicky at times,
right?
And I wanted to make sure that
there was a whole side that he would not talk to.
Well, yeah, because I mean, technically, even though nobody else knew, we were invited to co-host,
right?
So, like we were. So I mean, if you guys are listening to that. That's what was going on behind the scenes.
Yes. We kept our stuff together so you didn't know. That's it in a nutshell. Sit in a nutshell.
Sizzling tea.
I'm fine with sharing this. It's been long enough. Also, he just got charged with domestic abuse.
Again? Is he in jail again?
I believe he's getting jail time now.
And it's like I don't take pleasure in that. Like I want people to get help, you know?
The thing that hurt me so much is that the event was about kicking depression in the gutter balls.
I know.
And
he was all about like, oh, I'm trying to get better from depression. I'm trying to show you how
I did not see it.
Sobriety is effective. Like no.
It's like there was no sobriety whatsoever.
What's happening?
Because like I watched him just hanging out with these enablers. That's why he was over on that side. Like somebody that is an alcoholic or a drug addict can spot other people that are going to enable them. So he will be in that spot, you know, when he's jonesing. And he was obviously jonesing for things. Whereas the people that were on our side were not like that.
Yeah.
They were much more, I don't know, straight-laced. Is that what you would call it?
Straight edge, like when we were in high school.
Yeah, like the straight edge kids.
Straight edge. Yeah.
But yeah, no disrespect or anything. It's just we didn't have a great time.
It was a rough night.
It was a very rough night. It was very awkward. And at the end of the night, he said, while we were leaving, and he just goes, make sure you post all the incriminating things in the photos and video and stuff.
It wasn't.
And I was like we did nothing like that.
There wasn't anything incriminating that we got on camera because we weren't trying to look for that.
Right.
We could have
Easily, but we came for one thing and one thing only, to do our podcast, which we were invited to do. Yeah. And we just did what we could do with it. You know? So, I don't know. And also he stayed the next day for fireworks. Because it was Thunder over Louisville the next day.
Was it?
Yeah. Or 4th of July or something. Some
It wasn't Thunder because it was in June or July.
Okay, so it was 4th of July maybe. Or something. He stayed for fireworks because I saw it on his Facebook page. And I was just like, you could have done our podcast. You could have just told us the day after to meet you instead of just ignoring us and then us showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because like I saw some pictures of people at a bar with him.
Mm-hmm.
At a bar.
Like I don't like being the judgy kind, but I don't know. You didn't treat us very nicely. So I'm going to throw shade where shade needs to be thrown.
You know. But it was a learning experience.
It was. It was a learning experience, and we stayed professional the whole time.
It's one of those things, like, they do tell you, like, hey, don't meet your heroes, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we knew that he had his demons, but...
Right.
You know, we believe in the best in people.
Exactly. And we would never do anything that would ever hurt anyone's reputation.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know who we are.
It's fine. I mean, we're just...
And I mean, if he's used to Hollywood types, they would, you know? That's not us. You know? I don't know.
Yeah. But that was a bad time for the podcast.
Bad. So, the Scarefest and then the kicking balls and depression.
Well, I really liked Scarefest.
I like Scarefest as well.
I really do like horror stuff, so like I liked going there, but some of the people there weren't fun.
No.
Oh, do you remember the stink face Christy Swanson had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were
That's
like
another
Buffy.
One. She hates being known by being Buffy, but like she is OG Buffy.
She's OG Buffy, and people love Buffy.
Yo. She's just like, I've done other things.
I've watched her in several things, but you know, the first thing I ever watched her in was Buffy.
We did their little red carpet thing, and you were standing like right next to her, and she said, "I'm more than Buffy" or something like that, and you said something about.
I said you were in the chase, and then she looked at me, and it was almost like a look of relief. Like it was like someone knows. Someone knows I was in something else. That poor girl. I can see it being frustrating because I mean she was in like Big Daddy, she was in The Chase, she was in
Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah, exactly. She's been in a lot of things, and I could see that being upsetting because he just said to her, "Is it okay if we just put down Buffy?" And she was like,
"No." I love doing the pirate thing. That was cool.
Oh, yeah. I found those videos, by the way.
That was really cool.
They're super good.
Yeah.
We need a better editor. We do. We're going to be putting out a bunch of different videos of us going to different kinds of events, trying to break us out of our introvert shell, so...
Yeah, and we would like to experience, like, different, like, weird, like... Not weird, but, like, you know, just out-of-the-box events.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if you're a listener and you have, like, a wacky event that you want us to show them to, do it.
Like if you want us to go to a drum circle, totally in.
Yeah. We've tossed around the idea of going to like a furry convention just to kind of like get to know like what the lifestyle is and everything.
Yeah, because I feel like one of the main things is that we want to do with that is figuring out what it's actually like to be in those groups. Yeah,
because people like either joke so much on them or like they think that they're like depraved and bad.
Right.
But like honestly, most of the furry people I know, because like I do, weirdly enough, like the bear community does overlap quite a bit with the furry community.
Well, it makes sense. Their name's Bear.
But like a lot of the furry guys that I've met, like they aren't like weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're usually pretty normal.
Yeah, so. Everybody that the two people that I talked to do interviews with were really, really sweet.
Yeah.
They were really sweet and just very, very open to doing it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think
we haven't set it up yet.
We haven't set it up. We've kind of put that stuff on the back burner because there's like money and time.
Yeah.
But
main reason for it is because our video editor does not work. So
yeah.
And that takes a lot of money. Because you'd have to get a whole new computer, and I'm not able to afford that. So, so there you have it. Stuff's expensive, but So we've gone over our best and our worst. I mean, our favorite and our worst, or least favorite. Yes.
Favorite, worst.
What do you think's our best moment, though? Not personally, just as the podcast.
As the podcast. Fry, did you have an opinion?
Of course he does.
I'm still going to go back to Bill Ratner.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a... Like, I just... like, it might not be, like, a huge deal for some people, but, like he was such a cool guy, and, like, when you look at his filmography, you're just like, wow, this is, like, a legit guest. Like, I'm really, like, super into this. And it just kind of made me feel pretty proud, listening to it. So.
I think my big thing with the Bill Ratner was just how humble he was.
Yeah.
And how kind he was. Like, that is a huge deal for me.
I know.
When someone's an actual good person.
I'm always so scared to, like, talk to these people.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm just like, they're, like, we're, like, small beans. We're still kind of finding our footing. And they've been, like, in the business for years and years. Like, what are they going to think about
when they
us?
fully accept you the minute they meet you, that's when you're like, you are a cool person. I'm into it. Like, I don't know. Like, I've noticed something that older men will do when they're trying to show me that they are not a threat.
Yeah.
Is they will tell me that I'm like their daughter. You remind me of my daughter. And Bill told me that like 3 different times.
I think that's a good thing, though.
It is a good thing.
Because, like, it it says without saying it, I'm not thinking of having sex with you.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that a lot of females in, like, entertainment need to hear.
Uh-huh.
Just like,
yeah.
Okay.
It made me very, very happy because, like, before we started talking to him, I was a little nervous because he was an older male, and I've had some very bad experiences with older men. And the fact that he was going out of his way to kind of be like, hey, you remind me of my daughter. My daughter's got a nose ring, blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. And it just kind of showed me that, hey, you are like a little family member to me. I'm not going to hurt you, you know, which I totally appreciated. And more people need to be like Bill Ratner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, don't step on that.
Oh, Fry is trying
It's like that Brian Rodman interview.
Ruin the podcast again.
It wouldn't be the 50th without echoing back to some of the other episodes.
No, he's like, this is an homage. This is a callback, guys.
Yeah, Fry absolutely ruined the interview with Brian Rodman.
Yeah, we had recorded, like, so if you listen to it now, there's several moments in the first, like, 30 minutes to an hour where we're just like, we've never talked about this before. And that's because
we have talked about this
before. We recorded
before.
30 minutes, and Fry jumped on the computer.
and destroyed it. And he was about to jump on it again. And I was like, don't you do it.
We've been recording for like an hour and a half.
Don't you do it, you stinky cute boy.
Yeah. So,
stinky cute boy.
He's very interested in comics.
Yeah. He likes to talk on the podcast.
But you know, like, one thing that makes me really proud is, like, people reaching out to us for, like, especially, like, the first... We didn't even have our podcast out yet, and we got accepted to 2 cons.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool.
It is really cool.
And then, like, now we're getting to a point where we have a lot of episodes out, and people are, like, starting to reach out to us, be like, hey, you want to guest on this thing? You want to, like, come to this show? Like that's really cool.
It is really cool.
Like, because, like, I still feel like, you know, even though I'm proud of the stuff we do, inside you're always like, oh, but this is just kind of like a nothing. This is a thing that we do, you know?
Right.
It's, you never feel like you feel like it's your project that
right.
You're not sure why people care about it, in a sense. And then to, like, feel that, like, it just feels validating.
It does.
Cool.
Oh, another one of my favorites. It was interviews we did for Actors Theater.
Yeah.
It was Neil Robertson and Alex Stewart.
They're so good.
They're such sweet guys.
No, don't get freaked out and competitive. We liked interviewing all of you guys.
Oh yeah, we love all you all. But Neil was our first one with Actors Theater, and it went so great. And Neil's just such a little sweetie heart.
So hey, I'm going to tell this story.
Oh no, you gonna spill tea?
I don't know if Neil remembers this, but I remember this now.
Oh, I know what you're gonna talk about.
So we met Neil, like, to do our interview, and I was like, he looks so familiar. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we did our interview, and, like, we got along. It was great. And then I remembered, because, like, I saw on Facebook that we have mutual friends, and, like, I looked at the mutual friends, and then I remembered at this moment that happened, like, 10 years ago. So we, when I was dating my ex, we went to this mutual friend's house, and he was roommates with Neil. And we were talking about season 3 of Drag Race, and they were all drunk on wine. And he was like, "This is why I hate this drag queen, because she's a bitch." And I'm just like, that's what happened. That's how I remember now. So I don't know if he listens to it. I don't know if he'll hear this, but I remember this moment. I don't know if you do. There was some wine involved, and I'm a very quiet person. But that happened.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, man. I just remember afterwards you were like, I know him. I know him.
Yeah.
I've met him before. And then it, like, dawned on you, like, an hour after we met him. You're like, oh, I do know him. Yeah. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
You're talking about Alex, right?
Oh, yeah, Alex. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Compares himself to, he's a Labrador in a human's body.
Oh, that's so cute. Also, like, the show that he did, The Curious Incident.
That was so good.
That's one of the best plays I think I've ever seen.
Yes.
And, like, he did such a good job that, like, some company in Florida just called him. They're like, hey, we're doing the play too.
Why don't you come be the same character?
Do it.
And I'm like, yes, do it, please.
Yeah.
Just makes me so happy.
The next logical step is just doing the movie.
Do the movie. I would watch you in it 1,000 times. You'd do such a good job. But oh goodness, there's been so many great experiences with this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there really has. I mean, and there's been stinkers. That's okay.
Well, I mean, it's opened my eyes to like I never knew that we could do this stuff before.
Yeah.
And now that we've built an audience and we've gone to events and we're treated like legit podcasters, even though it's still small. It's strange and fun feeling like it's I never knew that we could do that.
Right.
You know?
It's interesting because like the first year we very quickly got like 100-something followers.
Yeah.
And we're going into our second year now and we have 300 and something now.
Yeah, it's still small beans.
It's still small beans a little bit, but I have seen so many podcasts in their first 2 years not get to the 300 mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, this tells me that we need to keep going and keep producing.
Yeah.
Because we're doing something special. I have not heard any other podcast like our podcast because we're weirdos.
Yeah.
And we talk about strange stuff and we cackle a bunch.
I love that. I feel like the thing I like about podcasts is like I like when it feels like you're just hanging out with people.
Right.
I don't like those like small voice like ASMR type. Well, I love ASMR, but like I don't like the small voices where they're just like, "So you're an actor. Tell me about how you got your first agent."
Exactly.
And like it's just like I don't want that. And I think maybe that's why Actors Theater liked us because like we're weirdos and we'll engage your interview. We're not gonna be like, "So tell us about your role."
That could be. That really could be. I think that's one of the reasons why we're so off-putting to people sometimes is because they hear the word podcast and they're like, oh, they're going to be really serious and they're going to talk like this.
I hate that.
No, we are loud and obnoxious sometimes and rambunctious and we have nothing but good things wanted for you.
Yeah, it's so funny because like sometimes because we've done some interviews before where like it feels a little tense at the beginning,
right? And
then like you'll say something like penis, and then like, oh, this is the kind of podcast it is. Well, let's talk about that.
Well, it was Gordon.
We did a podcast with this cool guy. His name's Gordon Smooter. He does a lot of stuff with puppets, but like he did like some special effects stuff in like the early 90s too.
Yeah, he's super cool.
It was really pretty fascinating.
Super cool.
But like the first like 30 minutes of the podcast, it feels a little like, we're trying to find our footing with each other. It's like a weird, like awkward
Well, we
game.
never talked before.
Like, you're trying to jump in like, how do we make this, like, how do we find our vibe? And then Aaron says something about puppet penises, and he's like, oh, okay.
He was immediately disarmed, and he was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, it was a good
There was another person that I did that with, too, and I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. It happens often.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, but there's something about me where I can pick up the cue of, I'm like, okay, this is what's going to disarm them and make them comfortable. And I always try and work it in while I'm talking to them because I'm like, I can tell that you're nervous, you know? And your nerves are making me nervous, so I need to calm you.
That's why I like doing the podcast, is because I am very nervous outside of it. And so, like, I feel like this, because we're in control here, it feels like you get to actually get to know us.
Yes.
Because outside... I'm a very quiet person, like outside of this. Like I'm really shy and really anxious, and a lot of people think that I just don't like them.
Yeah.
Because like I have a hard time talking to them. Like it's just like about an hour or two ago, we had our friend Amy on the podcast that we've talked to before, and like because I was behind like my armor of this microphone, I was like, so Amy, let's talk about orc penises. But like just like talking one to one, I'm just like, hey, hi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was also we were in the other room, and I was like, let's move over here.
Well, like I always feel like I'm intruding on
No.
conversations.
You are. Whenever it comes to anyone I'm talking to, you are never intruding.
I don't like to be that guy.
You
It's
were
like, hey,
always
guys, I'm also
you
here.
were
Let's-
always invited.
Yeah.
See, that's why I moved us into here.
Well, that's
So that we were sitting with you.
Because like I don't like people to think that like because I'm shy, like I don't like them. But like that's
Exactly.
how I am. Like I've ever since I was a kid, I just kind of like err on the side of, oh, they don't like this, so I'm just gonna hide in this corner.
It's gonna be quiet over here.
But like when I'm on the podcast, it's like it's very much like how drag queens do, where like they put on their wig and their makeup, they're like a superhero. Like that's how it is for me. Like I'm just this is who I am inside.
Yeah.
And I just-
This is actually a good thing to talk about. What we're like outside of the podcast.
yeah.
What am I like?
I feel like you're very similar.
I am? All right, I'll take it.
I mean, you're obviously you talk like about less wacky things to just everybody.
Right. There's certain people that I feel the comfort of talking about the wackadoo stuff. Travis is one of them.
Yeah.
And I will talk to Travis about gross things. I'm fine with that. And it's interesting because I'll actually have people that are outside of the podcast come up to me and start talking to me about gross stuff. And I'm like,
I don't know you.
it's like, what are you trying to do?
Leave me alone.
I don't know you. You're not in my comfort level yet. You're at a yellow. I need you at a blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a color code. I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably, I would say I'm pretty similar. But no, I hang out with cats on here too.
Yeah, the cats. There's so many cats that we can't record a podcast without them.
Yeah, we need them. They're part of the
Because,
aesthetic.
like, they will just interrupt. They'll be like, "Excuse me, I need some dry food."
Pardon me, but I'm not sure if you noticed, but my bowl does not have enough food in it.
It's far too polite for Fry.
It is. He's like, give me food for like an hour. I'm probably a little less talkative.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more quiet. Personality-wise is the same. But yeah, I would say I'm probably a little more quiet. And I'm probably more inclined to... No, I do that on here too. I was going to say more inclined to let you just like have emotional space with me, if that makes sense. I think that's probably here as well. I don't know. I think I'm probably the same. I'm like this. This is what I'm like, guys.
Yeah.
This is what I'm like. So,
But I don't know. You have the freedom to talk about whatever.
that's true.
Here.
Because this is my show,
Not yours.
not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do kind of mimic topics when I'm with people. Like on here, there's a lot more fluidity because I know you and I know that you're a safe place. When it comes to other people, I will mimic how they are in a conversation.
Actually, you know what? I feel like you're calmer on the podcast.
I am calmer on the podcast.
Because, like, observing you in, like, a public place where, like, maybe you don't know people. Because, like, I mean, we've done events now. And, like, when you're talking to people for the first time, you are kind of manic. You're just, like laughing a lot more. Like,
True.
you know.
It's true.
I guess because you're trying to be more likable or I don't know.
It's probably just because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I talk more when I'm uncomfortable. I think that's it. I'm calm here. I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
That's probably the difference. When you meet me out,
she will laugh a lot.
I will.
And it's probably a defense mechanism.
It totally is. It's either gonna be I'm laughing a lot, or you're talking to me and for some reason I did not understand a thing you said.
Yeah. So she'll laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that different though. Just, yeah, I think that's true. I think I'm more manic because I'm anxious.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm thinking about, like, all the times we go to cons and stuff. And, like, you're meeting people for the first time. And, like, people still gravitate toward, they still like you. But, like, you're a lot more, it's, like, not forced, but, like, you're kind of forcing, like, positivity out of your snout. You're just like,
It's probably one of those things where you fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Fake being confident and comfortable until you are.
It's kind of like, you know, because we've met a couple of people that we see almost every year at cons. Like, the first time we met was probably very much that.
Yeah.
Where, like, I was very quiet and you were very...
I know.
And now we're just kind of comfortable talking to them.
Yeah.
Because we've already kind of gauged our chemistry with them. We already know what we're like with them.
I think it's more so of, like, I know that they're okay to talk to.
Yeah.
Because it's very much so a defense mechanism where I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Hi. Oh, you're great. Yeah.
It's so weird too, because we're a small podcast, and a lot of them are like small, like creators, like artists and writers and stuff. And it's like you're like scared of each other because you're just like, oh, they're so much cooler than me. They have a podcast.
Exactly.
They have a book. And so like, so
why are they so much cooler than me?
You just think that the other person's like a superhero, and then you're just like.
Well, what's nice is that it's not live, so we have like a chance to edit it down and not make it as intense. And I feel like when we do interviews next time at those conventions and stuff, having a safe, like a spot where we're sitting down would help me immensely.
Yeah.
Because it's like when we're bouncing from place to place to place and we're on a schedule, I get nervous about that.
It freaks out. And plus, like, half the time we don't even make the schedule.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't work. So we're just like, eh. So I think, yeah, definitely. I feel like we should just film less unless it's just like B-roll. And then, like, if we're doing interviews, just make it like podcast. And, like, if they're short interviews, we could just kind of like edit it together to be like a mega Comic Con podcast of interviews with all kinds of people.
Well, that's what we wanted to do with Cincinnati Comic Expo last year, but it didn't. The computer just is not letting us.
Yeah.
But something else that would be good is if we brought them to our Airbnb and talked to them there.
I know. Well,
because I'm not comfortable in huge crowds of people, and that's where the manic comes out. Because, like, there's so much energy that's in those places, and I know that I have to get somewhere, and I know I have to ask them questions, and there's a camera in my face, and I know that I'm taking up their time, and I don't want to take up their time. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you're like, I am on a strict schedule. I got to get this done, and we're running everywhere. Mm-hmm. So automatically, cortisol level is high.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes there's energy at those Airbnbs too.
Oh, that last one we were at.
Creepy energy in that Cincinnati Airbnb.
That was frightening. That's why it was so cheap.
Because you had that weird closet in y'all's bedroom.
That was so scary.
It looked like one of them closets like that, like ghost ladies hide behind, like the back.
Oh yeah, she was in there.
It was scary.
She was in there. She was waiting. I didn't like it. I could not sleep, and that made it even worse.
Luckily, I hadn't slept for like 24 hours, so like I was able to just like lay down.
You're lucky. Like I was hearing every little thing in that place, and there was no TV, so like I was like, how am I supposed to like turn my brain off?
There's a TV in the living room.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
It didn't really work half the time. We got like some weird local sci-fi channel. It was kind of charming in a weird, spooky way.
It was pretty fun.
I still liked it.
I feel like if we do podcasts, we should just have people come back to the thing and then do B-roll
and be like, look at our spooky Airbnb.
Why don't we just do B-roll of people cosplaying there and then go to our Airbnb?
I'm so upset that we didn't catch the Zoya.
She was awesome.
Zoya the Destroyer
She
from
was
Glow.
so flippin' cool. It looked just like her. What if it
and
was
then
her?
when you talk to her, like you're like Zoya. She did her Russian accent.
And I was like,
So
it was
good.
right in the middle of one of our interviews, and I was like, I can't
Brian
stop
and
and interview
Robin.
her.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Brian, it's weird if I stop this.
she's so great.
Oh, I love Zoya. Zoya
So
is the
good.
Destroyer. Yeah, but yeah, we should just invite them back to Airbnbs and interview them there. Like at the end of the day, be like, one person comes back and interviews, one person comes back and interviews, so that we can actually have a comfortable place to interview.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I'm not comfortable around a bunch of people.
maybe we can catch some ghosts on our podcast
Oh, we already do.
sometimes.
All the
You
time.
were sending me like videos of like you're like I heard a ghost on the podcast.
Sounds crazy. Could you hear it very well?
I could not. All I heard I was just hearing just like random crackling noises.
Oh no, that's not what it sounds like. Maybe your sound thingy wasn't picking up correctly on the message. But oh man, there's like people talking over you with a man's voice. And I let Ben, who's actually gonna be in my music video, he's at Data Boutique. Go buy his clothing.
Get that promo.
Get that promo.
Dada Boutique.
Dada Boutique, DADA.
Do they have a
Boutique.
website? I think they do.
I think it's
They're on
Dada.
Facebook.
They are on Facebook.
Dada Boutique.
Girls and people with young kids or drag queens, get in there. It is shopdadaboutique.com. Get in there and
That's some
look
cute
at his stuff. He does some good things.
A lot of Erin's like music video clothes will probably be from there.
They
right?
will be. They will be. Ben does some. They pick out great clothes. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I let Ben listen to it, and he was like, "They're speaking Spanish." Because he took Spanish in like high school,
ghosts.
and it was going oh 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 oh, and he goes, "That means stop in Spanish."
Like they're heckling us.
They might be.
Like your podcast sucks.
Stop heckling us, you jerks.
I don't want you to talk about what episode was it about?
I don't
Is it one of the ones
remember.
we haven't released yet?
No, it was the last one we released.
Dreams?
Well, the last two that we released have had it on there where someone's been talking, and it's been when we've been recording up here. I don't hear it in the basement, but I hear it up here. Isn't that weird? It's that ghost.
We're trying to eat. You're being
You're too
rude.
loud. I don't know, but yeah, there's ghosts on this podcast. And I edit it out. I should just leave them in and be like, try and find the ghost, guys.
Remember like it was like our first or second podcast. You're like, I heard a ghost.
Yeah.
And then like you tried to edit it, you tried to replace it with like you record, and it like just sounded like garbage. I'm just like,
It
just
did.
leave-
I was like,
leave
I'm
the
just gonna
ghost
leave
in,
it.
girl.
I'll just leave it. I think it was the Nicholas Brendan one.
There you go.
I think it was because we were talking about
Yeah, I remember because you say Cordelia weird in the episode. You say Cordelia. And it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it was around that part.
Yeah, it was right around there, and I was like, oh, it's like talking over. I did my best to edit it out. Like I compressed some of it to try and like, get rid of the little atmospherical sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's gone, but I don't know. We'll find out. I wonder what we'll get on this one.
I'll be like, don't talk about Nicholas that way.
Exactly. I love Nicholas. It'd be weird. So what do you hope to do in the future of the podcast, Travis?
Well, speaking of future with the podcast, like we are starting, like if you haven't already seen on our page, we are starting some new like podcast stuff. Like we're doing, occasionally we're doing commentary tracks on movies.
The next one is You Remind Me of the Babe.
Just that part.
The babe with the power.
Yeah, we just did a full labyrinth commentary. And we're kind of tossing back and forth. I think we're gonna do TV commentaries for like paid stuff for like Patreon and whatever pages, and then we're just gonna do like movie ones.
Yeah.
For like quick episodes for the main page of the podcast. And they're really fun. You just watch along with us. And we'll tell you like what we're thinking about in the movie. We talk a lot about David Bowie's penis in the new one.
It's because it's so prevalent. You can see it. Like, there's no hiding that penis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about young girl sexuality, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we talk a lot about sex in that episode, but like, I mean, I feel like in those type of movies, like that's kind of a metaphor anyway.
Yes.
Like, especially like in the whole like girl gets lost in Wonderland, gets a hot guy who's probably evil chasing her.
Hot, older, evil guy.
Yeah.
Seducing
that feels
her.
very much like a metaphor.
It's totally a metaphor.
Yeah. But we're going to be doing commentary tracks. We have some ideas for some future episodes, like maybe some Lost Boys, some Crafts, some Cruel Intentions.
Yes. Oh, we do have a Lost Boys episode coming out.
We do
soon.
have a Lost Boys episode coming out soon. So we'll probably do a commentary to go like with the next week or whatever,
Whatever. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, we could keep talking. This is like an episode that we had no structure to, but
That's
we've
true.
been recording a long time.
Now we got to play that Kill Bang Doing. Oh, we've been podcasting for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I mean, we're probably gonna edit some of that out.
That's true. We'll do Kill Bang Mary. I was gonna say doing it twice.
Doing it twice. Miami is nice.
Miami is nice. So I'll say it thrice.
Plus, it's the 50th anniversary episode, so if you want to add stuff onto it,
we can do what we want. It's our show, not yours.
We have someone that'll listen, probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, please listen.
Just listen to us and
we
maybe...
We spilled some tea.
We spilled tea for you.
It was very hot tea. It might scald us.
Maybe we should have this one be for money. It'd be like, we spilled tea and lots of it.
I don't think people care enough about like us like having a shitty time at the bowling event.
I think that's true. So out of the Golden Girls, who would you marry and do it with and kill?
Well, there's 4 of them.
Yeah. We'll do it with twice.
Do it with... I don't want to do it with twice because they're old.
You gotta do it.
And they have vagina.
You gotta...
Well, I don't have a problem with vaginas.
You gotta do it.
I mean, like, I guess, like, you have sex with Blanche.
Is it because she's worldly in that area?
And then, I don't know. Maybe Dorothy as well. Because she's manly. So she'd be the closest to, like, actually being gay. And then, like, I guess marry Rose and then kill Sophia because she's the oldest and would probably be dying soon anyway.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Real life, she's the youngest and she died the first, crazy. Which is stupid. Okay. The boys from NSYNC. The boys from the Backstreet Boys. Or the boys from 98 Degrees.
Well, they all have their pros and cons.
They do, but you have to do them as a group. So if you have sex with one of the groups, it's going to be all of them at one time. It's going to be like a gangbang.
This is hard because like I have to take all of them.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to fill it in right now because this is really easy for me. I am going to marry the guys from NSYNC.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the boys from Backstreet Boys, and I'm going to kill 98 Degrees. Very easy for me.
Is this just based on, music and popularity? Or
Okay, so nothing the complicated system. Okay, Chris Kirkpatrick was one of my biggest crushes as a child. Mm-hmm. I still think he's a cutie. I'm fine with it. I've talked to him before and he flirted with me and I was like, hello! And I was underage, so I didn't go any further because that's not cool.
Yeah.
I could put him in jail on accident. And then I think Justin Timberlake is a talented individual and he seems like a nice guy. I don't really like JC, but I feel like the other guys make up for it because Joey is just a lovable little furball. And then
they do have Joey. Oh.
I know, right? Like, I just feel like he would give such good hugs. And then Lance, he wasn't necessary in NSYNC, I don't think. But, I mean, I feel like he could be a really good, like... I don't know. He seems gentle.
He's gay, so he's not interested in you anyway. So
Exactly.
He's the husband that's there to do.
He's the moral support.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. You always need, because each one of them is going to give you something different. Chris is going to make you laugh. Justin is going to be like, that's so, brother.
Well, like, I feel like Justin would be insufferable. Like I'm so popular.
It's going to be JC. JC is going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Justin, I feel like, is a little more grounded than that. Whereas JC, I feel like, is resentful and wants to pretend he's popular.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't know. JC is going to be my boy that I'm like,
JC
no.
and Justin make me doubt.
They doubt your feelings there.
Yeah,
Joey,
but Joey might be enough to, like,
make it happen. Because Joey's so beautiful. He's such a little sweetie pie. And also, he has an autistic daughter, so he would accept my family.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. And Lance seems like a really nice guy. So that's why I chose NSYNC. And each one of them would give you something different. Because Lance would be your moral support. Joey would be, like your cuddler.
Lance just seems like the really dumb gay guy that, like, I typically don't go out with because, like, I just feel like I would be heavily carrying the conversation.
I think that's
accurate.
accurate.
I'm not that super intelligent anyway, so, like,
you are.
It would just be really hard to talk to him.
I feel like he's one of those people that are good at being there.
Yeah.
So that's something that I do need.
Well, he's always had that, like, blank, like, dumb puppy dog face.
Yes, he has.
Like,
like, what are you thinking about? Nothing?
Beans.
Where are the beans at? But no, I feel like he would be that person that would be consistently there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm fine with that. JC is the only one that I don't know. Like, there's something weird. There's an offness with him, but Chris would be my main boy. Like, I'd be like Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
But with, like, NSYNC boys. I'd be like, each one of you gives me something different.
Yeah.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah?
A good argument.
Okay, then the Backstreet Boys. Here's why. I don't know if I want to do them, though.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't want to do anyone from 98 Degrees.
So the problem with the Backstreet Boys is, I mean, I can get behind Kevin because, like, he's like the dirty cowboy.
He's from Kentucky.
Yeah, and
So's
then, like,
Brian.
And then Brian seems like kind of like just the gentleman. Like,
He's like a dad.
Yeah, he's like a cute dad.
But I would get rid of Nick Carter.
Right, because Nick is like, isn't he like a crazy meth head now?
He has drug issues, and also he beat up Paris Hilton. When he was dating her. So he's a domestic abuse guy?
I think. Well, I don't remember if this is Nick or Erin that I saw, but, like, I've seen some pictures of them recently. They look rough.
Do they?
Like, real rough. Like, real emaciated and just like, wow, some drugs happened there.
Interesting.
So, I don't know.
I had a big crush on AJ McLean as a kiddo.
Yeah.
I was...
AJ was cute, too.
Yeah, he's real cute. I feel like... And Howie seems nice. I feel like he's kind of a weenie.
Howie's like the mayonnaise of the group.
Yeah, he's vanilla.
He's just kind of there.
He's like, I'm here and it's great, right?
I add some flavor sometimes.
Sometimes I do a high voice. But I feel like AJ, Brian, and Kevin make up for all that.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with doing them.
Yeah.
Especially Kevin, because he's got those smolder brows.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have to think of this like a big hoe. Because, like, if you have... I've done some things with some multiple people.
Oh.
And, like, there's always usually...
Oh, it's definitely Aaron Carter.
Yeah,
Oh my.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Oh
like,
my.
he looks like he's been through a saw trap or something.
Oh, you poor little baby.
Right?
What happened to
I
you?
don't know. It was... He's had a lot of weird, like, drama.
He's had a lot of trauma and drama.
Like, he's had, he had, like, the drug abuse and, like, he's going back and forth on saying that, like, he's, like, bisexual, maybe not, I don't know. He dated Chris Crocker for, like, half a second. That's weird.
Interesting.
Chris Rocker's really attractive now. He went from being crazy leave Britney alone to like porn star guy. But anyway, back to what I was saying. As somebody that has participated in things with more than one person, there usually is like one or two people that are just kind of there.
Yeah.
And like you just like give them a pity handy and like so I guess that would be Nick and
It would be Nick
Howie.
and Howie. Sorry, guys.
Right?
But I'm not sorry. And then 98 Degrees, not interested. You're gonna die.
See, like I debated maybe marrying them because like they had all the wedding songs, like the pretty wedding songs.
No.
But like
No.
I feel like I don't remember anything.
Nick
about them.
Lachey was a giant dickwad to Jessica Simpson and like would tell her that he's gonna go to work and he would just go to the strip club instead. Not interested. And I feel like the only reason he married her was so he could have sex with her. Drew, I saw him on Dancing with the Stars.
Real shame.
He cannot dance. I'm sorry.
You'd think they would have given
Then
him some dancing lessons because he was in a boy band.
no, they just like bounced their heads.
I mean,
That's
but
all
like
they
it was
did.
like a requirement. Like we need you to do something.
Just bounced their heads. That's all they did. And then that one guy, he like bleached his hair and he was
Yeah.
like weird looking.
I don't remember anything about the other two. Just that one guy had a bleached head.
Yeah, the one guy had a bleached head and
then-
the other guy was really muscular with dark hair.
I don't remember this other guy.
I don't know what their names
Like,
are.
you know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing like in The Ring where like the pictures of the people is just like a weird squiggly potato face.
Yeah, that's what he looked like.
It's like Drew and Nick and some squiggly potato faces. One of them has a bleached head.
Yeah. You nailed it.
It's great.
You nailed it.
It's I think I'd probably just I guess do the same because Joey's doing the heavy lifting for NSYNC.
Joey Fatone. Joey and Chris do the heavy lifting for me.
Yeah.
Those two little pudgy men. Woo!
Yeah.
Give me those pudgies. Sorry, guys. They're beautiful. Anyway, I'm glad that we're actually matching up pretty similar with our taste today.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can't tolerate some craziness in my relationship.
Yeah.
Unless they're a demon daddy, and then I'm just like, well,
They're like, hello, Demon
it's
Daddy.
in your nation, or your nation. Well, I guess your nation of hell. It's in your nature to be crazy.
Yeah. Totally.
But for real life guys, no. So.
But yeah. Chris and Joey. Don't mind if I
I'd be
do.
like, I'd be like,
Oh, man.
Joey, can you put on the bunny mask again?
He'd be like, sure. But then he'd go, I'm claustrophobic.
Can you put on the straight jacket, no pants?
Sure. But I'm claustrophobic.
It's fine. You
How he
can-
said claustrophobic. This is so
Claustrophobic.
cute. It's claustrophobic. Claustrophobic. I was like, oh, you little baby. You little baby. And then he'd make us hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
He'd make us hot dog. He has his own hot dog stand.
Oh yeah, and he's Italian.
He's
so He could probably
Italian.
make like Italian food.
Oh,
too.
you know he can. You know he can.
The other boys in NSYNC would get jealous because they'd be like spending too much time with Joey.
Be like, sorry. Oh my gosh, we have a bunny right here.
Yeah,
It's a sign.
the Reese's bunny.
Oh,
It's gonna relay it back to Joey.
man. Also, Chris Kirkpatrick wouldn't care if I dreaded my hair.
Yeah.
He was like, I
You know
was that
what?
guy.
We should just like replace JC with Tom Holland.
Oh,
There you go.
that's good. That's good. Can we replace Lance with Jonathan
Jonathan who?
from Queer Eye?
Sure.
That makes it really good. Oh, wait, what about, I don't know, I like Karamo too.
Can we just replace them all with the Queer Eye guys? And
Oh,
then,
let's do the Queer Eye
and then
guys!
Tom Holland and JC can, or Joey can come.
Okay, so if we had to replace the NSYNC members that were bad,
What are we doing for the
we
all
have to
the
do this. We
Queer
have
Eye
to do
guys
this.
now?
Hold on.
I don't know if I can choose.
So if we're replacing
I could
JC,
choose.
if we're replacing JC, I feel like it needs to be someone else that's like equally talented in the singing department. Who's another singer?
I mean, Tom Holland can dance.
Just put him in there. Tom Holland. Oh, and it's Tom Holland in drag.
And plus,
Hello.
Yeah, I think he can sing too because he did do musicals theater when he was younger. So
I want to hear him sing now.
Sure.
Yes, Tom Holland. He's replacing JC, and then no, we're not gonna do Jonathan. We're gonna do oh crap, Avocado Man. Anthony. We're gonna do Anthony
because he's the same as Lance. It wouldn't be that different.
He's the same
still
as
got
Lance.
The weird dead-eyed look.
Exactly.
And except he's
not as bougie.
He'll just be like, I like avocados.
I like avocados. And I like your butt. Yeah.
We should do the Queer Eye Guys though.
Let's do the Queer Eye Guys. Let's do it.
Okay. I think I probably would kill Anthony though.
You're gonna kill him?
Because he's cute, but
I'm gonna do him.
He's
gonna do him real good.
He's just I don't know what else he brings because I feel like he clearly can't cook.
He's always having other people teach him.
And he just feels kind of dead-eyed and not smart.
I feel I think he used to be a drug addict, and that he's a heavy recovering drug addict.
Speculation here.
I think that's what it was, because when he was on Queer Eye, he mentioned something about knowing what something like that was like, and I'm like, well, are you a drug addict? But I think he used to be a drug addict, and I think he got clean. And so he's kind of the bad boy, and I like a good bad boy.
Wait, no. I'll kill Tan. Here's why.
Because he wants you to dress like him?
Yeah.
And if you
he
don't,
doesn't want
he's
you to
mad
have
at
your
you.
own individual style. And he's just... It's infuriating. He's always making people feel bad about their cute trucker hats. I'm just like, not everyone wants to wear a blazer, Tan.
Not everyone wants to wear blazers and loafers.
So, okay, I'll slot him out and then do Karamo. Or not, well, I'll do Karamo anyway. But I'll do Anthony.
Okay, so I'm going to marry Jonathan because Jonathan is such a sweetie pie.
I'll marry Jonathan and Karamo.
Yes, can we combine them? Because I would happily do that. That's true.
Only three options.
Okay, so yeah, we'll marry both of them.
So, I feel like I'll marry them because, Jonathan's fun, and then Karamo's
very sweet,
big, sexy, and he's very, very, empathetic.
Yes. I need somebody empathetic in my life, and he would be so good. And I feel like so is Jonathan, but he wants to uplift you. So, I think, and also, he's fine with your style, but he wants to help you improve it, which is a beautiful thing for someone to do. They want to help you step up. And then Karamo, he'd be like, how you doing today? You doing good?
Yeah.
He'd check in on you.
He would check in, and I feel like Karamo is low-key, he has the skills of all the other ones combined. So, why not?
Yes.
And, I feel bad for Bobby. I feel like he just missed the marriage train for me. So he's still he's in Hibbity Town.
I feel like there's a lot of anger in Bobby, and I feel like it's waiting.
So I feel
pop.
Because in every episode he's like, oh, well, I was abused when I was young and in a religious family.
I feel like he's got a lot going on in his head.
Yeah, and I feel like I have enough issues that I don't.
Yes.
I can't deal with his issues.
Yes.
And so I feel like that conversation will come up all the time. I'm sad enough for myself.
Yeah.
You're a sweet guy. We'll build shelves together and do it.
I feel like with Bobby, I would become his counselor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kill Bobby. I'm so sorry, you sweet boy.
I wouldn't kill him. I'll have a threesome with him and Anthony. The only one that dies is Tan because he's mean about clothes.
I think, no, because maybe I do want Bobby around because he would fix the house. Okay, so I'm gonna marry Bobby, Karamo, and Jonathan. And here's why. Because Bobby and Karamo can talk about Bobby's problems, and Bobby can fix the house.
Yeah,
I fixed it all.
Very good one.
Exactly. And then Jonathan can make me look beautiful all the time, and he would make me feel beautiful too. And then Karamo, he's eye candy, so and then Anthony, I'm gonna do it with. I don't think he can actually cook.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just this wild child, and so I'm gonna do it with him just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And then Tan's going down. I'm sorry, Tan. I used to love Tan until it dawned on me that he was so judgmental of everyone else's clothing.
He is.
He would like
People
look at
are
my
like, Tan is still great. I'm just like, he wants you all to wear a French tuck and a blazer.
Exactly.
And nothing else.
He would see my Hogwarts shirt and he'd be like, "How old are you? 5?" And I'd be like, "Yes,
yeah,
I am
leave
5.
My house.
Now get out."
Asio Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That doesn't kill him. But nope, that's an explosion. Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Tan. You've been Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally gonna do Jonathan. Nope. Anthony though.
Yeah.
Totally gonna do him. Real
I mean,
good.
he does have like this creepy like Joker smile sometimes.
Which I'm fine with.
I'm into it.
So are you picking the same people too?
I feel like your option is the only option. Because like that was my only issue with Bobby is like I just feel like
if he has Karamo, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Karamo and John.
Yeah, Jonathan's really sweet, and he like I feel like Jonathan understands grief.
Yeah.
Really well, and I've got
Jonathan's
so much grief.
Really smart.
He's very, very smart, and he's very funny.
Like he's got a whole podcast where he talks about politics, and like very like in depth, but like in his own like super gay way. But like it's interesting because like a lot of that stuff goes over my head, and I'm just like I feel like I'm 5.
It's like
compared to you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Plus, he can explain Game of Thrones to us because he's got his show Game of Thrones.
Perfect.
Where he just he explains the plot of every episode with like a guest star while being flamboyant. It's super fun.
I want to watch it.
It's great.
Can we just be on it with him?
Well, we have to know the plot of the episode so we can. I don't know the plots.
So what I would do is I would mimic and act like I know what it was. Because we've been talking about this. I mimic people. Like earlier, you were talking about something, and then I was like, I gotta be honest, I've never seen it. But I was mimicking, and like I actually knew what was going on. You gotta fake it till you make it, people. Do it. But yeah, but I do come clean. Like if I haven't actually seen something, I'll be like, I've never seen it. Guys, thank you so much for listening to our 50th episode of the Nerdy 30s. We hope that you guys have loved listening to these episodes as much as we have loved making them. If you guys liked this, subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're mainly active on Facebook, though, so that's the main area where you can get a hold of us. If you feel a little charitable in your heart, hop on our Patreon, hop on our Ko-Fi, hop on our Podbean, and send us some cash. It only takes us $15 a month to pay for Podbean. If 15 of you just gave us $1, we are there. We appreciate any amount of money that you can help us with because we ain't got no money. Our computer is like a 2000s computer that was a hand-me-down. Any little bit counts. I had to actually edit out a bunch of this episode because the computer warbled a whole bunch of it, and I would like for that not to happen anymore. So please donate to us. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of the Nerdy 30s family, and we can't wait to see where this goes.